Hello and welcome to another episode of the FPL Hangover podcast, where we raise the bar and lower the tone, all things FPL related. We are coming to you on the 12th of September. Our first international break is all said and done, and we can look forward to some more fantasy Premier League heartache in the next few days. Here to help me prepare for all that is to come, my podcast partner in crime, Paddy. How are you getting on, my friend?
I'm getting on great, Ger. It's great to be back in the hot seat, and it's great to be back talking about FPL. I want to say hello to all the listeners who are driving to work or just sitting down having a cup of tea or a beer, a Kinniger beer at that, and to the millions and millions watching on YouTube. Here's to you.
Oh, you're on the wee bunny tonight?
I'm on the wee bunny tonight. So
You've got a little trip in the morning, so you want to keep the head fresh.
Exactly. So keeping the head fresh on the wee bunny. But you know what? It's so delicious. Even if I didn't have a big trip or anything, I would still be choosing a wee bunny. I love it. It's nice.
It is. But look, let's not get into the shilling straight away. There's people delighted we're back.
Yeah.
We will keep it brief tonight, folks. There's no need to do a big, mad, long pod. We've got a couple of weeks off. There's not a rake to talk about, but we do have some stuff. We'll quickly go through Gameweek 4's results in our own teams, how we got on. We'll have a look at some announcements. Did someone mention double game week? We're going to touch on the Mini-League and the current standings. We're going to look at our transfers for next week, our planned ideas, but we won't keep you too long. We just wanted to get back out there and, say hi before it all kicks back off again. Paddy, did you miss me?
I did, Ger. I missed you. I missed you like a bear misses a sore paw.
Ah, you're too kind. You're too kind. Did you enjoy Game Week 4? I know it feels like forever ago.
Well, after the highs I had of Game Week 3, Ger, let's not ever forget those.
Yeah, the greatest mind in FPL.
Yeah, the greatest mind in FPL. I did come crashing down to earth a little bit in Game Week 4, but I think so did a lot of other people.
How? Tell me more. Why do you think that?
Ger, you're supposed to just say, you're right.
Sorry, don't push you.
yeah, what the fuck? I did alright. I mean, it wasn't the worst game week, but there were people out there a lot worse than me. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a pretty miserable start to the season so far, so I was happy to beat your ass in Game Week 4.
Oh, you know what? Once international break comes and I didn't get a green arrow, I kind of just fuck the phone away and just I unplugged myself from the Matrix. I didn't even know what you got, so I'm actually really excited to hear. And instead of me going first this time,
don't patronize me.
Maybe we'll start with you, Ger.
Yeah, I think we should. Since I hammered you
for once this year
with a whopping 70 points, 40 of which was Haaland. No, a pretty mediocre week. 70 points, like the average was 72, so I didn't even beat the average in the game, so not great, but not the worst. Would you believe, actually, I don't think you know this, I missed the deadline.
Oh, yeah, you messaged me or something.
Yeah, I did. Maybe I missed the fucking deadline.
And then I said something back to you like, "Oh, you jammy bastard! You'll probably get such and such points now." And
I did. Yeah, I came out of it net. So now I can't remember the last time I missed a deadline. There's been a few close calls and stuff, but in terms of literally just not pressing a button, completely missed it. Sat there, and this was one of those weeks where, and anyone that was tuned in, as I said, it feels like forever ago, but I remember prepping for Game Week 4, and I consumed an awful lot of content. I genuinely didn't know what I wanted to do. You had the likes of Sterling was hot property, James Maddison was kicking off. I still didn't have the likes of Mbuemo, so I had a lot of questions that I needed to kind of come to a conclusion on. Ended up making my mind up, which would have been Martinelli to Sterling at 5 o'clock when I finished work. Had it ready to press, and I said, you know what, I'll wait an hour, because who knows, I'm in no rush, I'm going nowhere. I'll wait an hour, and then I'll make my decision. I sat down, turned on the PlayStation, started playing Overcooked 2 with the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Next thing I looked at my phone, it was 20 to 7.
Addictive game.
Oh, the time flew. And
Can I
Go
just?
on.
I just think it's great that you spoke about a video game because this is National Video Game Day. So nice nod there, Jer. Continue.
NVGD?
Yeah, this is National Video Game Day.
All right, well, if I'd known, we could have cancelled the pod and I could have
Ah.
just sat back down playing more Overcooked. But yeah, missed it completely. Was like an absolute antichrist walking around the house for about an hour. I was in shock.
Yeah.
And
I'm in shock.
yeah,
I'm still in shock.
not my proudest moment. I'll put my hands up. Not my proudest moment.
Did you blame her?
Oh, of course.
Good. That's what.
I mean, why have a girlfriend if you can't blame her?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, got lucky because Martinelli to Sterling would have been a dud. Martinelli got his assist and Sterling blanked. And yeah, I came out of it net points and a transfer to spare. And the realization that maybe I should, fuck away from Chelsea a little bit because I'm not entirely sure what kind of property we've got there right now. Yeah, so that was my game week 4, 70 points, happily banking a transfer, and yeah, another red arrow. What about you?
Wow, I'm still in shock that you got saved those Sterling points because you're playing Overcooked, which is a highly addictive game, by the way, and a game that I actually am very aggressive when I'm playing with other people.
Oh, I see.
Cook the fucking eggs! Give me the fucking eggs!
I need pasta.
What are you doing?
Pasta. Yeah.
What are you doing? Go to your rooms.
Yeah,
So back to the game. Back to the other game. So I got 65 points, Jer.
Okay.
I think I used one transfer.
Had you two?
I think I used. I can't even fucking remember. It's been so long ago. This has been the longest international break ever. But I do know I sold Salah.
Yes, you did. You sold Salah on the 24th of August in game week 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so you had... Will I tell you your transfer?
Please do.
It was Mitoma out
Yes.
and Madison in. And you did tell me a porky.
What?
You told me you got Bowen in.
Yeah, but I told you straight after that it was just a joke.
Yes, but I'm just saying. I was a little annoyed at you for getting Bowen in. I was like, Paddy, stop. This is exactly where you just, you not follow your gut, but you're going with the instant gratification instead of the longer move. And I was very proud of you when I saw that you'd actually just done the clever, not the clever, but the mature decision and went with James Madison. So
exactly, because I did think about instant gratification. I do think about it a lot.
I'm sure.
But I just thought then, he'd only be a headache for the next 2 game weeks.
100%.
You know what I mean?
That's such a decision, Paddy. I said I couldn't. Words can't describe how happy I am.
Greatest mind of FPL.
Greatest mind in FPL.
Yeah, there we go. I brought in James Madison for Salah.
Mitoma.
Mitoma for Madison. That was the move. That gave me the ultimate midfield that people were really trying to acquire to get because I was ahead of the game. A lot of people went for Sterling or Jackson this week after the heroics of Game Week 3, and they got burned. They got burned. Some people had the headache of maybe either to go Sterling or Madison, and that was a 50-50 that would have really fucking burned as well. Not
you. You were ahead of the game. Sterling already in the team. Jackson already in the team. Chilwell, all of them delivering a lovely grand total of 4 points between the 3 of them.
It was vomit. The fixtures well against Nottingham Forest. Not that we're going to say Nottingham Forest are a whipping boys by any means, but you would have thought this super team of Galacticos, is it 1 billion Chelsea have spent or something silly like that? If it's not, we'll pretend it is. Because never let the truth get in front of a good story. Over here at Hangover Towers. 4 points for the 3 Chelsea guys. Such a letdown. And to think there was a moment where a split minute, right, where I thought about maybe captaining Sterling or Jackson over Haaland.
Oof.
Yeah, I was thinking, you know what, let's be a bit different. But thank God I didn't. Wow, such a day to go against the crowd. Haaland delivers a nuke. 40 points. So, 40 points. I got 65. There's not more to talk about. Onana has been a terrible keeper choice. Almost as bad as Pickford.
Excuse you, Pickford did beat Onana last week again,
Yeah,
even though he scored an own goal.
Yeah, for feck's sake. Estupinian, Chilwell, Baldock, because I benched Gabriel, but I was glad to see Gabriel. I just pronounced his name two different ways there in one sitting, but that's how I roll. I was glad to see him make an appearance, and I think that could be the end of him being bench
Benched.
fodder. Yeah, so at least it's one less transfer to worry about for me. Turner got me 5 in the bench. That was a sting. Saka 4 against Manchester United, who I thought were sort of robbed in that game. You know,
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, we weren't Arsenal weren't better than us.
no, and the scoreline definitely flattered the
Oh yeah, the scoreline. But I mean, anyone watching the game knows the scoreline
Yeah,
is other
yeah,
shit. You know.
So yeah, nothing more really to talk about there. 65 points. Just I'm happy it wasn't any worse, I guess.
Sure, you can wash it all away and let Game Week 5 ease your troubles. Isn't that always the way with FPL?
With a nice Kinniger.
Sponsored by Kinniger.
Yeah, oh yeah. Here we go.
Yeah. With that beautiful sound effect that you've just added in there, Paddy, it's reminding me of what's up next. So without any further delay, let's head on over to some Talking Pints.
Talking Pints.
Yeah, there's not a lot of Talking Pints this week. I mean, being fair, like, you know, we don't have a game week to review and look back and pick apart like we usually do. But there was one massive announcement, which we've already alluded to at the start of the show. Game week 7. It's not an ordinary game week. It's not a standard game week. It is, in fact, a double. Nearly. Yeah. We nearly perfectly.
Nearly. We practiced that so much.
Start again. We'll take it from the top.
The whole podcast.
Don't mind the last 12 minutes. Yeah. But yeah, double game week. Are you interested?
It's not like a double game week to get you like hard.
No.
But a semi maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Depending on how much you've had to drink.
Yeah. I mean, part of me wants to just start building up a team of fucking Burnley and Luton players, and then just wildcard game week 8.
I won't lie to you.
You know, I did think that.
I think I'm not going to hit it heavy, like as in I'm not gonna want 3 Luton, 3 Burnley. I don't think there's any need. I don't think there's the options. If you ask me, like I looked at today in a meeting at work when I should not have been. I was like, oh my God, I was like, someone's blabbing on about something. I might just have an old gander at Luton and Burnley assets while they're mouthing away. Nice one. That'll sponsored by Kinniger again. But doing a little Robbie Fowler for the audio listeners, and to the audio listeners and the video listeners, if you're liking what you're hearing so far, please don't be afraid to hit the like and subscribe button or give us a rating on Spotify or Apple. You know the drill. It really helps us out and it's much appreciated. But getting back to Luton versus Burnley, yeah, I think with the exception of maybe Carlton Morris, the striker for Luton, and again, not someone I'd be ripping up my team, but we do have a wildcard in hand. With the exception of him, and maybe, you know, a couple of cheap assets that, you know, I'd be happy to get 4 points out of, like double twos. There's nothing that's exciting me, do you know? Nah. But there is the fact that a lot of managers, myself and yourself included, are holding on to that wildcard.
Yeah.
There was already talks of a game week swing, well, not talks, but there is a swing in game week 9, the likes of Liverpool coming back into a decent run of fixtures, other teams leaving. It's not beyond the realms of possibility to kind of lean into this double game week a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, why not? We're on the Morris train here.
Yeah, I know, a trademark Hindu monkey. But I don't think he's wrong. I think he's off the mark. If memory serves me correct, he's already scored this season. He's a very budget-friendly player, like 5.5 forward, not too many of them. Seems nailed on for minutes. He's their top scorer from last season. I can't see why he'd be dropped. And Luton are in a decent run of fixtures.
Yeah.
As in, like, so if you were to look at Luton's next Yeah, I mean, all the way up until really game week 10, which is a mile away. Fulham away, Wolves at home, Everton away, Burnley at home, Spurs, and then Forest and Villa. So, yeah, I mean, the double in 7, Fulham away and Wolves in 6, they're doable. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's completely doable for a 5.5.
100%. And guess who already has a Luton player on their bench?
Mr. Ahead of the Game, greatest mind
Oh
in
yeah,
FPL.
oh yeah. Kapori will be sitting in there. He'll be going nowhere now, obviously. And sure, I might bring in Morris and a wee Burnley player. What Burnley player do you think we could wrap up our beautiful teams for?
I can't pick one. I was looking at it today. And I mean, like, so you've had Burnley, who have had a rotten start in terms of their fixtures. So it's hard to judge them on, was it like Man City and Spurs, a blank, and I can't remember who the other team is. But so a rotten set of fixtures, and then I don't know. I haven't made my mind up, and that's something we will revisit obviously in the
Yeah.
next couple of weeks. There's no mad rush for Burnley assets. Their double is, arguably the poorer of the two. Like, is it Newcastle? Yeah, Burnley have Newcastle and
Luton.
obviously Luton. Yeah,
And Luton
so
have Burnley and who?
Everton.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
So
Luton's the more attractive double. So yeah, we of course we had to talk about this because this was just announced during the international break, and this is talking pints
it's
points.
exactly it's
So
exactly
yeah,
what
no,
we
I
had to talk
like that,
about.
and you have to be ahead of the game if you want to be an FPL manager like me, ahead of the curve. These are the things you need to hear. This is why you're listening to the podcast. So for these nuggets, absolute nuggets of gold information.
I couldn't have said it better myself. With that in mind, Paddy, who is the best Burnley asset? Just throwing that question back at you. You know, the greatest mind in FPL.
Um, fuck.
Who's
I
their
ha-
striker?
you know what? I don't even know who their striker is anymore because it used to be a guy. If he was still there, we'd be going for him. So I have no clue. Give us some strikers there, Jer. I haven't. Who's been looking at Burnley recently? Like,
I was just trying to throw you under the bus.
well, you did throw me on the, but I take it.
Lyle Foster has played up front. He's a 5 million striker. He's actually got 2 goals in his last 2 matches. So apologies if I've offended any Burnley fans, but they were also hammered in those 2 matches. But yeah, he's got 2 goals in his last 2, and that's, I mean, 5 million again, budget friendly. I'd still be leaning towards the likes of Carlton Morris, but he's up front. I think their highest scoring midfielder is Kalisho.
Oh, yeah,
Luca Colosho. I don't know how to pronounce it. Apologies if I've butchered it. Again, it's hard to tell. Like, he's not getting minutes. He does have an assist to his name, but their striker is Foster. I'd probably be more interested in the likes of, if I could sneak in like a 4 million defender, or even if you wanted to go mad and go Pickford out, Trafford in. Like, again, it's
Yeah.
weeks away.
Yeah, something to be revisited, 100%. No, but no, I thank you for enlightening us on the Burnley assets because I had no clue, Jer. Because I mean, who's been looking at Burnley other than their fans, who we've just insulted the fuck out of, and we're not sorry. But there's been another talking point moving on, I think, from this double fixture, and this is a quite a scary one for some managers, I'd say. Anyone who may have jumped the gun after the hat trick that he got over the last game week.
Jump the sun, would you
Jump
mean?
the sun.
There
What
you
a yes. Genius.
Yeah, well, that's why they pay me the big bucks. Yeah, you're spot on. And you know what? I was looking at him. I mean, I think everyone
Yeah.
was waiting for the return of an FPL golden goose in previous seasons, obviously with the exception of last year. But also for him being, Richarlison being dropped, and the potential for Son to play through the middle. That was a massive potential. A potential switch that would see managers lean into it. And then, sure, in the first match, he goes off and he gets a hat trick.
Yeah.
Massive. I was looking at him, especially those with the likes of Rashford still in the team, and maybe they're not too impressed with United. Maybe they still have double United, so happy to jump off one of the assets. It wasn't that difficult. I think Rashford's 8.9 now, and Son's up to 9.1. But Yeah, with Madison in your team, like I don't have Madison, hence why I was more intrigued to kind of
Yeah.
zig when so many have zagged. But as someone with Madison in their squad already, were you tempted to double up on Spurs?
I will answer that question, but just to let the listeners know, this is a rumor at the moment. Okay, this is the headline.
Yes.
I'll just let you know the headline. Right, Tottenham dealt major injury scare as Son Heung-min photo leaked ahead of the Saudi Arabia clash. So the picture in question is he's got a huge ice pack on his knee. Is it wrapped up or something like that? So
Yeah, yeah.
that's what we're talking about, just for what's happening. So don't be panicking yet and transferring him out or anything. Now, back to the question, Madison. Do you know, part of me thinks I should have zigged when everyone was zagging last week.
Well, no shit, because he got a hat trick.
Yeah, and the fixtures were good. Little differential. But you see, Madison's been the talisman, and even with or without injury, I'll be honest with you, I'm not looking at Son now.
Yeah, okay, and I think that's fair. I mean, as you
I have my Spurs player.
Yeah. No, and you're right, and I think the fixtures are pretty nice in the long run. I think immediately, like next three, obviously, you've got a lovely one this week with Sheffield United at home to Sheffield United, but then it's followed up by a tough away fixture to Arsenal and a tough home fixture with Liverpool. So, game week 5 and 6, or game week 6 and 7, should I say, are, they're not exactly prime for investing in Spurs, but if you already were in on the likes of James Maddison, then you're going to be happy to keep. Yeah. I 100% agree with what you're saying in terms of the talisman. I do think he's looked top class since he's joined, arguably the signing of the season so far anyway. So as someone without Maddison and someone who probably won't be jumping on Maddison this week, based on the fact that I think I can avoid Liverpool and Arsenal quite easily, and hopefully he doesn't do too much damage at home to Sheffield United. As someone without Maddison, yeah, I feel like it's obvious now.
You're not going for the instant gratification.
No, as I said, I think I've had a poor start to the season, and I might need to start looking at some very mild zigs,
Yeah.
Mild.
It feels. Are you feeling like it might be just chasing points now with Madison for maybe just one game or two games before they go into those tougher fixtures, and then you might look at Madison again after them?
A little bit. I mean, as I said, a lot of teams have already locked him in. Like Madison is, his percentage is slide over now when you zoom in. He's owned by 27% currently, so that's pretty heavy. Like between 1 and 4 and 1 and 3 managers are going to have him. So I feel like in in instances like this where things haven't gone your way at the start of the season, this is where you can maybe just bide yourself a little bit more time and hope that he doesn't kill you at Sheffield, and then that the Arsenal Liverpool match kind of goes the way it usually would, in the sense of low returns, like low expected returns anyway at the very best. But then they do hit into the likes of Luton, the likes of Fulham, Crystal Palace in the next three. So I mean, if you look at them long term and you have Spurs assets, you're laughing. But for someone not, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I attack game week 8 and go Son, do you know, the kind of way, or go both. Especially if you did go in with the likes of a Luton and a Burnley double up, and then you kind of wildcard yourself out of it, potentially a week early. But what is a week? What is a week?
Exactly. Yeah, there's as I'm glad we're doing this, because more and more questions are opening up here as well for myself. Of course, I'm happy. I'm going to keep Madison now. I've had I'm happy to hold him. I certainly wouldn't want to go double Spurs now with the fixtures you've just mentioned coming up. But yeah, I think it's the fixtures. I'm looking at Chelsea as well. I've got some other fires in my team, Ger, that I think I want to fix as well. But I think we'll probably get into those later on, will we? Or are we moving on from talking points?
Yep, I think you're right, Paddy. I think we'll hit on them just in just a little bit. But before we do, let's head on over to the FPL Hangover Mini-League.
All right.
Sponsored, of course, by Kinniger Farmhouse Beers from Donegal. If you would like to join the mini-league, the code is on the screen for those listening. It's HUP8K9. Hup! 80K9. HUP8K9. There'll also be a link in the descriptions and stuff. So feel free to join in. We got some lovely feedback from our manager of the month in September. Congratulations again. She's still sitting on the top of the league. So we had a code that's expired. The positives is that we will have another code towards the end of this month. So keep your ears and your eyes peeled for any updates on that. But there's still monthly prizes. There's still the end of year overall manager of the year prize. Free to enter. All we ask is that you send us your firstborn son. And the rest is history. Paddy, you have some details of the mini-league, am I right? Hello and welcome back. Apologies if you were watching and there was any technical difficulties. Of course, living in the ruralist, northernest part of the country does have its flaws at times. Am I right, Paddy?
Yeah, apologies. My son was on the bike pedaling the internet connection and he had to go to the toilet, but he has been whipped and beaten. And he will never do that again for the sake of the pod. Okay?
You're almost as good a father as you are an FPL manager. That's all I'll say.
Well, there you go. That's what the people want to know, and that's what they will hear. So there you go. So we were going into the mini-league.
We were indeed. What have you got for us?
Well, have I got the stats for you. First of all, Paula Castro, our manager of the month, who got her goodies, is still number one. Well done, Paula. Fergal Casey, Milford man. He must be a new entry, is he?
I don't know him.
Well, he's a friend of my own. I know him very well. He's in my WhatsApp group. We talk, we drink pints together. Childhood friend. In second place with 293 points overall. So well done, Fergal. In third place, we've got Peter Scullion. In fourth place, we've got Sean McGing. In fifth place, we've got Simon Ronnie Clink. Scott Kent in sixth. Mario Sanmo in seventh. Shane Drummond in eighth. And Mike Manley in ninth. And Dan McManus in 10th. So that's the top 10. Well done to the top 10 managers because it's quite a competitive league.
You're damn right it is, Paddy.
Mm-hmm. So, let's go straight into the good stuff, And we are going to go and find out who the manager of the week was. So, the manager of the week is Donal Hurley.
Woo!
Do you know Donal Hurley?
I do. Former workmate. Lovely lad.
Wow, this is great. Two of our friends in the doing big things in the league. So Donal got 106 points.
Fucking hell. Where did they come from?
Wow. I don't know, but investigate his team. And those 106 points rose him up 154 places in the league to sit now in 78th place. So Donal, well done you. That was a massive lift, like.
I have it up on the screen there. Fucking hell, he didn't even wildcard or bench boost or nothing. That's just a flat out 160 head. So
he just went in bareback.
He went in bareback. No lube or nothing. Son, 20 points. So he had Son's hat trick. He had Hallen's hat trick. He had Edouard with his 13-pointer. And just a solid bunch of, Fodens and Salahs, Martinellis, and fucking hell. That's some score, man. Fair play.
A proper, legitimate manager of the week. Well done. Just want to say special mentions to Paul O'Gorman, Pogerman on X. 103 points. And finishing up our 1 ton club, there was only 3 of them this week, is Attar Basri, who got 100 points on the button. Paul O'Gorman rose 117 places to sit in 132 in the league, and Attar Basri moved up 92 places to sit 11th, just outside the top 10. So well done to those managers. And of course, Ger, It's all good and well celebrating the managers of the week, but it's time to look at the walk of shame. And this, the worst, this will be the second time I call this name out because the guy who's bottom of the league is also in my personal mini league, a friend of mine as well. Uh, owns a fantastic shop in my town. You can get your suits and all. It's Leonard Watson. Leonard Watson, Watson's Menswear. There's your plug. He gave me a free pair of socks one time, so he's a good man. And we actually have a bet on this year. I'm waffling on here now, but I bet him that Sancho would get more points than Liverpool's new signing Sabazali, and he's messaging me every couple of days about that now.
Yeah, you might be losing that bet, pal.
Yeah, I think so. So anyway, Leonard, 39 points, Jer. 39 points. Pathetic loser of a man. A pathetic loser of a man. I don't know how he could do that, where it went wrong, but I'll find out later. Anyway, joining Leonard on the walk of shame is Alan O'Sullivan with 52 points. Special mention to Richard McKenzie on 54 points, Daniel Andrews 55 points, Danny Watkins 56 points, Reece Jones on 56 as well. You should all hang your heads in shame because you are all pathetic losers. Was that too harsh, Jer?
Yeah, a little bit, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Well, that's good because that's what I wanted to be. Anyway, let's go and see the transfer genius this week. I love a transfer. This is my favorite thing in the world, Jer. Is this your favorite part as well?
You know it. The more stats and breakdowns of the league, the better. Even if they're completely out of context and sometimes make no sense, I'm here for them.
Yeah. Well, the manager who made the best transfer this week is Danny Abbott. Danny Abbott made one transfer, and he moved out Sancho for Son, and he got himself 20 points for doing that. Fair play to you, Danny Abbott. Special mention goes to James Stevens, who made 3 transfers, a little mini wildcard, took a -4, and he made himself 19 points. Now, these are the most casual transfers I've ever seen. Even Danny Abbott's there, Sancho to Son. Like, you ask yourself, what's Sancho even doing in your team? But here, James Stevens, right? Balogun to Haaland. So the man hasn't had Haaland in his team, right? Then he goes Salah to Easy. And then Martinelli to Mbuemo. Anyway, he's netted himself 19 points from those 3 transfers, including his -4.
Sure, Haaland got 20 of the fucking things.
I know. That's his net transfers, okay?
Right, well, fair enough. There isn't much hope for him if he's only bringing in Haaland now, I think.
Yeah, I know. Delete the game, mate. Third here on the list is Muhabul Islam, and he made 2 transfers, netted himself 14 points. Rashford to Son, Shaw to Chilwell. So, well, that was your transfer genius. It's time now to hear about or sack the scouts. These are the worst transfers made, right? They can't be any better than the best transfers made. But, here we go. Hilary Fidelis, she made 2 transfers, took a -4, and netted herself a -17 points. Oh, my God. Alvarez out, Antonio in. Gabriel out and Anderson in. Unlucky. And we'll do one more. Finn Hayes, 2 free transfers, so no hits. Netted himself -11 points. He got fed up with Trent Alexander, decided to move him out for Chilwell, and he also decided to remove Colwill for Ruben. Ouch.
Trent coming off the back of a 12-pointer.
Yeah. Right, let's have a look at the bench points. Let's see who's our bench wanker this week. Love a bench wanker one as well. Oh, jeez. Guess what do you think are the highest points on the bench this week?
28.
Right. Lower. It's 23. Okay. I thought it was going to be high as well. Thought we might have got an Evans, a Haaland and maybe a Son in there. But anyway, we have James Stevens, who got 23 points as bench. We have Luke Quinn, another guy I know, 22 points as bench. John Barlett, 21, and 21 then for the whole way down. FPL Nymph, 20 points as well. So unlucky, guys. Unlucky with those bench points. And that about wraps up our fantasy football league updates, which is sponsored by Kinniger.
Yep, and, well, the league is sponsored by Kinniger, but tell everyone where you're getting the stats.
Oh, Premier Fantasy Tools. Thank you very much. Love using them for my stats. So good.
Yeah, big fan of the website. Check them out again. Links in the description below. Lovely chap running it. As I said, the site is great crack, especially if you want to check your all-time rankings and the managers and leagues and stuff like that. Very, 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 very interesting. Thank you, Paddy. We'll be back next week with more FPL Hangover Mini-League. But before we wrap up the show, let's talk about what your planned moves are, Paddy. Now, I know there's still a bit of the game week left, but maybe you have something up your sleeve.
Well, I do have something up my sleeve, and it's not very exciting, Ger. But the plan at the moment is to do absolutely nothing. I'm looking at my team at the moment. Now, I'm probably going to play Turner over Onana. That's probably going to be a decision a lot of guys might have. But I fancy Brighton more than I fancy Burnley to score. You know, United are a bit shaky on the back. We haven't had a clean sheet yet, have we? Or if we have,
yeah,
it's been
against
real...
Wolves 1-0.
Yeah, that one. But since then, there's been nothing. I don't know, is Matine's back or is Varane still injured? There's international games to go. Shaw's out.
No, I think Turner over Onana is a good decision.
Yeah, so there we go. I'm playing Kabori, who's playing Fulham. I have Chilwell in there, and I'm starting Gabriel.
Perfect.
Captaincy's on Haaland. I have my 3 Chelsea players. I'm not going to move any of them against Bournemouth. I know a lot of people are probably, I think there could be moves moving Chelsea people out, but I'm just going to wait. I think 2 free transfers will be more beneficial to me coming up to the next game week more than doing it this week, if I'm honest. What about you, Jared? Anything more exciting than me? Because you've got 2 free transfers, so you're bound to have some exciting moves to make.
I wish, Paddy. I wish I had some exciting moves to make. I'm actually looking at things. So we discussed, the Luton double game week and whatnot, and I might start heading in that direction myself because I've kind of maybe made my mind up that I'll wildcard in game week 8 or game week 9. I'll look at it a bit closer and I'll run the team through, the planners and all of that stuff. But right now I'm thinking just a straight swap of Mitoma to Mbuemo.
Oh yeah, see, I don't have Mbuemo. He's the one I would love to have, but I can't squeeze him in there just yet. You don't have him either. That's interesting.
No, sure. I would double Arsenal, double City, or double Arsenal, double United, and Mitoma. Yeah. And you know what? Like all of that's, I'm happy. Like Mitoma is, he was, I think, a fine decision, and I was happy with it. But I think Wan-Bissaka had him in his pockets the last time United played Brighton, so I'm not expecting a rake out of him this week. And their fixtures are pretty tough over the next few, so happy to jump off Mitoma on my side. And I think Mbuemo looks pretty untouchable in terms of being on pens. His goal there in game week 4 was top class. I'm going to go that way, and I'll probably roll the extra transfer and then maybe look to start moving towards a Luton asset or maybe turn that third striker spot into Carlton Morris, by maybe downgrading the likes of Martinelli in game week 6. But away to Everton, I'm not going to be getting rid of any Arsenal assets. So yeah, boring enough, but that's my rough plans for now. As I said, plenty of more potential stings in the tail for this international break. There is fixtures to be had over the next few days that we'll have to keep an eye on, but it's where my head's at. As I said, I think I'll know more on next week, kind of way. Like, I'll have looked
Yeah.
into this more. I'll have another week of game week data to mess around with. But yeah, that's where my brain's at. Before we go, Paddy, do you want to talk about how things are shaking up in the transfer market in the game?
Yeah, we can do that. We'll go straight into that. The top transfers out this game week. Do you want to take a stab at them or anything, Jared? Do you want to have a guess? See if you can get any of them.
Transfers out.
Most transfers out this season, yes.
This game week, I'd say Rashford is probably up there. No, Bruno.
Nope. One guess left. One guess left. Just pick a player.
Richarlison.
No. You got 0 points. The top 5 transfers out, and we'll start at the top, is Jackson from Chelsea. Yeah, and there is 271,000 managers that have transferred him out, and this will probably, there might be more coming, because we're still a bit away from the deadline, and of course there's international games to play as well, so we wouldn't be making moves yet. Isak is number 2 for Newcastle. Number 3 is João Pedro for Brighton. Wissa for Brentford. And Botman for Newcastle. Botman seems to be the most sensible one there because he's actually injured, an ankle injury, and it says that there's a 25% chance of him playing. So there is your top 5. Any of those surprise you, Jer?
A little bit. The likes of Vissa, I mean, he's still getting game time.
Yeah, and even Jackson, who's the number 1 transferred out, like he did miss a chance, didn't he? In the last game, he should have scored.
He should have, but he's in those positions. I know it's a cliche, but like he's in the positions to miss the chances.
And they're playing Bournemouth next.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that one. To my own, to save myself a little bit of embarrassment, I did think you were talking about just midfielders, which is why I stuck to midfielders. But I definitely would not have guessed Jackson was in the top 5 transferred out because. Yeah, I mean, that was 2 weeks ago. I was wrecking my head whether or not to bring him in. But in terms of transfers in, have you got any news for me?
Yeah, I do indeed. Give us a stab. You'll definitely get number 1. Yes, he's the most transferred in player. Go again. You've got one right.
I mean, Alvarez, is he up there?
Yeah, he's number 2. You're doing great. Let's go. 3rd.
I'm just gonna go with Mbuemo.
No.
Okay, who's 3?
Game over. Sorry. You're out. Madison is 3rd. Yes. Son with, by the way, 444,000 transfers in. So that's going to go to this game week. So far, that's going to probably hit 500,000 people.
I had heard 300,000 this game week. Fuck.
Well, it's 444,000 right now. And probably rising. Alvarez is 411,000, so that's also massive transfers in. Madison 405,000, huge. Romero for Spurs 364,000, and of course our very own Evan Ferguson for Brighton, who is yellow flagged, 75% chance of playing, 310,000. Managers have transferred him in. So that is your top transfers in, your top transfers out.
Petty.
They always give me a little, a little surprise. Sometimes I love looking at them.
Yeah, no, I mean it is weird, I guess, because I think that's where like super engaged managers meets the casual manager, especially at the start of the season. You have a bit of a healthy mix of everything. But yeah, I'm actually shocked at Jackson though. I'm still thinking like, where's that coming from? Who are you replacing him with? But it's obviously Alvarez or something like that.
And we're going to add something new here. So we have our 2023-24 Player of the Week, right? We've had 4 game weeks. We've had 4 Players of the Week. Varane in game week 1. 14 points, and Mbuemo in game week 2, 16 points, Sterling in game week 3, 19 points, and Son is the new player of the week champion with 20 points. So that's been the most.
Why does he get 20? Why does he get the manager of the week and not Haaland when they both got the same points?
I have no idea, but he has got the player of the week.
Well, congratulations
on the app.
Congratulations to you, Mr. Professional Footballer. All right, that's brilliant. Thank you, Paddy. Tell everyone where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at the Viking Dippers. You can also find me. That's where I do my team leaks, by the way. getting some team leaks, and I put
Oh
them
yeah,
out there
I
because
heard. You
some
fucking poser.
yeah,
Oh my god.
some
You're
people
so full of shit.
some people hate getting them on the old Twitter, so I put them on the Instagram.
Oh, you're just doing it for everyone else. You're not doing it for your own, benefit.
I put them over there, yeah, to grow my Instagram channel, and
Okay, so
and to appease the people that don't like to see them on the Twitter. So yeah, there's a method behind the madness.
it's win-win-win.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. I put
win-win-win.
a question box up, and I fucking dive in, and I go and get those that information for those players that give me.
I don't condone it. I don't condone it. I think
Yeah.
it's a disgrace, and we'll be having words offline
Okay,
about
no
this.
problem. And you can get me on Twitter at FPL Viking _. And by the way, I will have.
What's the point? What's the point?
I will
It's
have
just your
team leaks
second
this
rate.
week. I will have team leaks this week. Go to my Instagram.
You don't have to.
Yeah,
They're
for Friday,
all second-hand nonsense.
for Friday's match, there'll be team leaks. I've got a guy
for Friday's match.
For Saturday's match.
I was like,
I have a
typical,
guy
yeah,
in the
Friday's
pocket.
match.
I have a guy in the pocket over there.
All right. But no, do check him out. If you want to check out the show, I'm on Twitter at FPL Hangover or X. I don't know when we're gonna have to switch over saying that.
Yeah, I tried today, didn't I?
But maybe
I did. I called it X. It's weird.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
I know, but look, at the end of the day, we don't make those decisions. So yeah, Twitter at FPL Hangover, Instagram at FPL Hangover, Gmail, fplhangover@gmail.com, all of the above. Reach out if you have something to say. If you don't have something to say, but you want to contribute to the show, like, subscribe, rate, leave us a comment, share it with your friends, share it with your nana, share it with your worst enemy. I don't give a shit. It all helps. If you want to join the league, HUP8K9, links in the description below. I think that wraps it up. Apologies if there's been any audio issues. I know there has been. There's probably been a bit of lag. We're dealing with one of Paddy's lazy children not cycling fast enough. Won't happen again. Yeah, we'll hope to have someone else in next week. Paddy, do you want to say anything before we wrap up?
No, just I'm going to Lanzarote tonight. I'm flying out on holidays, so
and you'll still be able to get team leaks.
Yeah, I will. Yes, I will. I'm on it.
You're the Fabrizio Romano of Fantasy Premier League.
I love that. Yeah, I think exactly the same. So yeah, that I'm actually going to put a tweet out now in a wee while to for the clout, and I'll get them over there to the gram because hey, listen, 100% success rate so far.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, if you're fucking putting them out after it's already been confirmed.
No. I put them out at the exact same time.
Yeah. Next thing you'll be charging. You'll be doing a shand on it.
Never. I'll never sell out.
Never. Sponsored by Kinegar. All right, Paddy, thank you for jumping on. As I said, sorry if there's any issues. We will see you all after Game Week 5. Make sure you enjoy Game Week 4. And most importantly, God bless.